shiny face and smiling today. It's a beautiful day out. So we'll start with the library reports. Maybe since y'all are sitting in a row.
I'm sorry, I'm provided that.
I didn't even bring that in here.
Oh, they're in the packet.
Yeah. While she's,
We're ready to get over the gift bags, please.
well, I just want to say, and I know you mentioned, but I thought that the Scotia hearing, nobody else was there, but let me tell you, that was powerful, and it's a packed group, wasn't it? It was, and I didn't know a lot of that. Do you know, I mean, did you all know that when the first, can I say this? Can we say this on, I mean, I'm sure we can, about what happened at Scotia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we recorded it and it's on our YouTube.
Oh, good. So you might want to look at that, that when the first rescue team was there to talk about what they did, they were ones who had been trained and hired by the coal companies. They went down and they could only go so far and then had to come back up. And when they came back up, it was Mesa, then Mine and Enforcement Safety Administration was there. And they said, okay, we're in charge now. And their concern was they went down just a little ways and they said, oh, that roof needs to be fixed before we can go any further. And so they prevented anyone else from going in. And those rescuers felt terrible because they felt certain if they had been allowed to go back down, they would have, you know, so it was very, I was in college then at Clinch Valley, and I'll never forget going over Tunnel Hill on the way, and the Mountain Eagles office was there, and they were, and then when 11, so 13 men were killed first, you know, you all probably, and then when the inspectors went down the second time, 11 more people were killed, and that was just, so it was a very well attended and very emotional gathering. A lot of Scotia employees were there, former employees, so that was, so I thought it was a wonderful thing, and Tiffany put that together, you said. That's very good.
She did a really good job.
Yeah, she did.
And Brian McKnight was the main presenter.
From Southeast.
He's done this a number of times. So he's got a relationship with all the Westmoreland people that were there. It was really nice.
It was good. Yeah.
This is fairly short. We had programs last homemakers. Weekly promise to check on children and the weekly book index for the children. And the sisters charity had program with the language and wardrobe for a family they're working with. And we was doing the book club and we're doing Murder and Moonshine, smacked by Carol Miller. It's a light mystery. And up at the bottom of that, be awful, it would be smart to go back and get this, hopefully this time get this postcard now. My granddaughter's birthday will be the last day of this month, so I'll get through with her, so that's a good thing.
Nice.
And doing her activities on all right.
Sounds good. Well, everything looks nice.
And so bright in here.
Yeah,
That's
Bright.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Brenda's so happy every time she comes in here.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, really good.
Well, I'm advertising.
I
Oh,
think
Is that the new Blackie shirt?
Yeah.
I
We've got
love it.
this one, and then we've got.
Can you stand up? I'm sorry, make you stand up. Does it say the date?
No.
Okay,
It just says Black
Lucky
Friday.
days.
We
Okay.
sort of, well, I say we, I am not an official member of the meeting. They say I am. I say I don't. I say I have not joined in the meetings, but I do work pretty closely with it. And they decided that some people wanted the dates on them, but a lot of people say they're wearing it if they don't have it.
Exactly, it doesn't like expire, I can see
But
it, yeah.
it's
That's
just,
nice,
it just
yeah.
says.
Who did the design?
No, I was gonna,
Nick,
Want me to close?
no, I was gonna ask Grace to stand up and point herself toward the camera
oh.
so the people can see the shirt.
Oh.
The shirt's on Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, it has been.
If you want to see the shirt, it's on Facebook.
But, they have one that's just gray and it's got a drawing of the bridge and it just says bridge gap across the shirt. But,
Nice.
They,
So when is Black Day?
the 16th and 17th of May.
Okay.
And of course, we won't be able to do anything, but we do, and we set up on the porch.
Right.
And this year, with the quilting design, they, they have nowhere to display anything, they had to do away with their silent auction, everything because nothing. So we are looking into possibly our windows downstairs, if we can bring something on the inside, that they can hang quilts on the inside of our building, which will hide all of our boxes and stuff. It'll be
Serve
too
two
far.
purposes.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
So we're working on that. And people are fixing water, outside water today.
Yay, thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
The community center, hopefully they're ready to start forward with it. They brought, I don't know what you call it. Brian, what do you call a picture of?
A rendering?
Yeah, the
Okay.
rendering, yeah, of what the new community center will be.
And you're saying it's going in the water plant?
They're going to redo the water plant. And I thought this is probably not a big building, because I can't tell. And I look at the house and say, that's not pretty big, and I walk in it, yeah. But they say, and really this old center, there was a lot of space that was not really used when it was used just as a center, because it had two kitchens, and there was only one kitchen, she used to have like storage spaces and that kind of stuff. But, and then for the spot where the center had been, they hope to, maybe not in the first phase, but put like a concrete slab, like an outdoor pavilion that's covered.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
that will be helpful for us to use, because there'll be a space like in with summer read, because we had never really, sometimes I would, before traffic got to be so crazy, I don't know where everybody comes from, it comes through Blackie every day. I mean, there'll be, I mean, all day long, there's steady street cars coming in there. And they can, only place they get to once they get over there is go around that cliff. But anyway, that will be good space we can use, because it's real dangerous. Sometimes people just wild cut through our parking lot. But, this space, we can take kids outside and picnic with them or whatever. I told someone, although we're making progress, we got come on, now we're going to get water.
Boy, you're moving on upward.
Water and
Yeah. You're gonna make it.
We'll find some sign of hope.
That's good.
But, and I will be gone from Thursday until the following Tuesday. If all things go well, this week did not start off too well. I took my son to work this morning because we've been sharing a car. My car is sitting in the parking lot there at the fitness center.
Oh, no.
Well, we stopped and got gas and we started to pull out, just that time of morning, it's a little before 8, it was just steady traffic. And just sitting there, I didn't know if the traffic device would just die. We started backing it, die again. But we did get it in there, but he knows I panic. So it was way too early for us to open, so Samantha came and got me. And so we made it back to the library even before time to clock in, but when you see written in time, we would just, so neither one of us wrote in time, time clocked in, we just
It's
sit there. Finally glad to be there, but anyway, I hope to be done for you.
You need to
Do
rest.
you have a mechanic to work on?
Well, I've got somebody I use, but I don't know. We'll just see.
Okay, thank you. Dion, we have some furniture. And actually, when you look at it, you think, wow, you see those little squares and you think, wow, that looks good. But when you see it on the furniture, you think, wow, that really looks good, you know?
Did you see the puddles, the little
Yeah,
stools for the
yeah.
kids section? They're bigger than I thought.
Yeah, I know, you think puddles, they call them puddles, and I was thinking something small for kids, you
It's
know?
a big
And
ottoman
they're
looking thing.
huge. They're huge, which would be great, because adults can use them too, but yeah, they're a lot bigger than I thought, you know? The word puddle just doesn't go, you know? And the tables, they look wonderful, so hello, it's really gonna be nice, I think it's really gonna look good.
Matches for
Yeah, the colors are just great.
We should probably tell you that all the furniture is in the same room where we've got all the books stored.
Right, you have to store them in
Yes.
the meantime, right, I got that.
Yeah, and we've got everything except the armchairs. Is that
I think
right?
so, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I can't brag enough on Caitlin and Tiffany. We couldn't have done any better with who we hired. They are wonderful. They do a great job. Both of them are very creative and eager to do things. So, and if you come through the library, you'll see all the little decorations and stuff. That's Caitlin. She just can't wait to get on to the next project. We're already working on May. You know,
Good.
you know, she's already excited, and we're covering every little thing about every month. You know, this month was autism awareness. It was Earth Day. It was, you know, Easter. You know, there was so much, but we managed to come up with something creative to celebrate each holiday. So, or
Each event.
Yeah.
Sounds great, and can't wait to open up and
Yeah.
start serving the public.
Yeah.
Whitesburg.
Ian's not here.
Yeah, Ian had to be someplace else today. Same with Broy. So
But we got their updates.
yes, they're in the packet. Wendy, you need to say anything?
Other than if you hadn't gotten the message, the the date for the regional programming meeting has been moved to May 21st. It was May 6th, it's now May 21st at Bell County. Because it was originally in Pike County, but with the flooding, their meeting room has been taken over by FEMA, and so Bell County has graciously.
Which Bell County?
There's Middlesboro. So, and if you,
that's on what
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
May
I've been to that
21st.
library, that's a
Yeah.
nice little
so if
library.
anybody if you have registered, you don't need to do anything. If you have, there's still time to register for staff that want to register, there's still space. And if the date doesn't work, then there's a way to unregister.
That's a great librarian down there.
It is, yep.
They really celebrate their community.
Gina used to be me,
Yes,
long time ago.
not that long ago.
21st at what time?
It's like, it's 10 to 4.
10 to 4.
So it's a regional programming meeting for children's, bookmobile, adult programmers.
Anybody that does or helps with programming.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
who are you taking from the library? Are you going?
I have to look at my schedule and figure out when the audit's gonna happen. If I am free to go, I would love to go, because I've not seen the Middlesboro branch since they did their update a few years ago. But I'll take anybody that can go.
It's pretty nice.
And so I was thinking this was the trustee orientation, but it's not.
There is a trustee orientation that will be Friday, May 9th at 4 p.m.
I think I sent
There's a
that on to you
Zoom.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so even if you've done it before and you just want to refresh your course, please join us. It'll be a Zoom link because this is statewide. And I'll be your host for the orientation.
Refresh my memory of your name.
Wendy,
Wendy.
yes. O'Connor.
O'Connor, of course, you're Irish.
Yep,
And your position?
I'm the
Regional.
Southeast Regional
Okay.
Consultant, yes. Yep,
And
And
what
then
time is that? Did you
it's
say?
4 to 5,
And it's, okay.
I can resend that,
yeah.
the
And it's online.
invitation.
And I'll
Um,
send the link out more
be
again
online
as
or-
as we
That
get
one is
closer.
online, and if
We're
you're worried
working.
about retaining the information, you can do the online and write down any questions that you have and bring them to the live one when we have that scheduled. Fiscal court's supposed to choose today.
Okay. Yes, yes, we welcome if you're
We'll be
newer.
online.
I don't think
Yeah.
any of us have gone through that orientation, have we?
You've
Jeanette
done it
has.
before,
Okay.
It's been a
but,
while.
but
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
a
But you
really,
haven't been
it's just
thrown
a
in
really
trouble.
great overview of your role as a trustee.
That's what we need, yeah.
you
Yeah.
get a chance to hear everything that's in the manual.
And you get a chance to ask questions too.
And
So what's the name of the, what you're talking about on May 21st from 10?
It's
What
just-
is that?
It's just a regional programming meeting.
Okay.
Because they were doing, we had five, since there's 5 regions, they have 5 of these meetings, so to hit up
So
all.
that's more for staff.
That's for, that's for
Okay.
staff, and then the trustee orientation is for trustees.
Sure.
That
Yep.
area really has got it together with, tourism. They're really moving on and it's impressive.
so I asked Wendy,
Mhm.
new trustees can be sworn in anytime. Anytime that the judge or any of the possible swearing in list is available. And this is in your packet, so. The next month, the meeting is at Whitesburg. I'll see if we can get somebody to come and swear in the new trustee. And after this meeting, when I get back to Whitesburg, I'll call Stacy at the judge's office to find out who we get. I don't, well,
I'm sure the meeting's in progress.
It is.
This meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they moved it to 10 on the third Monday, which does not help us at all.
But it must have.
They'd have to pretty much do it right away, and then the person swear them in right away, and then the person would have to.
They took it away from the evenings, so nobody could come and ask questions.
And
Right, that's exactly why they did it, or make statements.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, anyway.
It's true.
Yeah,
they got jealous of our time slot.
that's what I thought. I thought we had a perfect time slot.
It
Okay,
is a good thing.
So in the minutes, you said that the folks who want to be, needed to complete an application, is that correct? Did I understand that, the folks that want
Yes,
to be on the trustees?
that was I thought that was one of the things that was preventing me from putting in our nominees, but even after I uploaded the nomination application, the nominees applications, it still didn't take it, so I got fed up and just emailed them in.
And they said it's okay.
They sent me the names that they
Oh,
selected of
okay.
the 2 from the 3. That's
Yeah,
So
Okay.
when somebody resigns from the board for whatever reason, does not fill their term, we have to take more than 2 applications for that position. And we send in the 3 or 4 applications and they select 2 from that. And then they send those 2 on to the fiscal court and to me, just to let me know.
They being KDLA.
Yes,
Yes,
sorry, yes, KDLA
Sure,
does
okay.
that.
and I get copied on, so when KDLA sends the letter to the fiscal court with the 2 names, I get a copy of the letter also. When it's an expired term, you just submit 2 names and then KDLA does whatever they do and then the 2 names go. They just send the letter to the fiscal court, but when it's unexpired, it has to be 3.
So are we scheduled? Yeah, are we scheduled for the next fiscal court meeting is what you're saying?
We were on the agenda for the one this morning.
Oh, and so did it happen?
They're in.
I'm
they're meeting
assuming.
right
Oh,
now.
I see, there's still, they're meeting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna-
Gotcha.
I'll
And-
call Stacy after I
Okay,
get.
sure, okay.
Probably wouldn't make any difference if we're there now.
Yes, I'm sure.
Tell somebody
That's
to.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
Finished.
I did have one other thing. Some patrons came and saw something that they did not feel should be posted at the library. And I agreed with them, so it was removed, and I had a conversation with the person that posted them. And all the librarians now know that we can't talk about politics, post about politics, unless it's neutral or it affects our ability to provide service. So, and I'm going to talk about this when we get down there. I haven't gotten any response about estimates for windows. So I have a thing to, yeah, I'll talk about that when we get down to that part of the agenda. I don't really have anything else.
Okay, we will move on to the treasurer's report.
There isn't one.
For the minutes.
Oh, minutes,
minutes.
yes.
Well, the minutes, sorry. I checked it off.
Okay. And note that
Yeah.
I will write in Tyrell's last name.
Okay.
Okay. I hear a motion to approve the March minutes before you. Make a motion. Motion made to approve, need a second.
I'll second.
Motion made in second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
May I have an initials or autograph, please?
No treasurer report.
No treasurer's report. I wonder if they thought we were closed or something for Easter Monday, but
Is that a holiday?
It's a.
No,
It
Good
is for some
Friday, I
places,
see.
yeah, well, I'm not sure why. I mean, I know some people ask if we're open the Monday after Easter, and we are. So, oh, I just need one.
Oh, you just need one first.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, thank you.
You got everybody's.
That's okay.
No treasurer report.
Yeah, I'll get it for the May meeting. Director's financial report, you do have, it's these 2 pages. The Amazon report is front and back, and the, I think you got that, Cheryl. Okay, I handed those out to people.
Let's see.
I thought I had it too.
It would have been, like, I handed them out at the beginning, like, before we started the meeting, so it might be at the very bottom of your
Oh.
stack.
Is this it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
There's 2 pages. One is the Amazon report, and sorry, there was just more than, like, more separate orders than usual, so.
You don't have.
You got the Amazon one too? This is that one. You guys need? So if you've got questions.
Take a look. If you have questions, throw them out. When you say programming, that is programs, right?
Yes, but it also includes passive programming, like the snack basket, any displays in the library.
Yeah.
Stuff that attracts attention.
And comp part is computer hardware?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if our programming was with computers or not, but I got that.
No, I just. Sit on.
What is processing?
Getting items ready for the library shelves, like the labels and tape and covers and stickers.
Stickers, yeah.
You had a chance to do both reports? Someone make a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second. Motion made and second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Can I have your initials on these two, please?
Thank you. Now the vouchers.
I've got two things that are not in the vouchers. It's taxes and taxes. So those, I don't think those need to be approved since they're tax payments, but I'm gonna send them around with the vouchers anyway. Thank you for coming as long as you did.
I can't stay long, but I have to get back to Richmond.
I just left Richmond yesterday, going back tomorrow.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah. So we'll swing over since I was in Perry County.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming.
Maybe,
Can we just look at these?
maybe sign them because that's our copy, just anywhere.
I'm probably here.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
Each of us need to
Just-
initial, you think?
Just in, yes, just in case. I'd rather be safe than sorry on those.
I'll be back. Time of year, isn't it?
Next month is at Whitesburg.
Okay.
And I'll try to remember to send you that stuff. Okay, thanks.
There's,
Good to see you, Wendy.
yes, 60% of my libraries have their.
I'll come
meetings
get
this
them.
week.
Oh,
Oh,
Just
God.
finish them all off.
okay, sorry, sorry, I thought I could do that. Apparently not.
I do what I can.
No, you can't.
No, now I know I
If
can.
I have questions,
Please pass them on.
I'll be okay, I need to move up the city. We'll meet halfway. Right.
Need a body insurance on, or is that on? I'll meet you halfway. Better than no way.
Listen to sixties music on the way.
At least I'll plan,
Yeah.
especially when summer comes, just to come down and just.
Is this
Have
the
a day.
last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
sounds good.
Then we can chat.
Sign the law, so now.
And I can see Fleming again.
Okay.
If you need a water for the road. okay.
The vouchers.
Lemonades.
Oh, nice. Bye.
Libby say I second it.
I second it. Motion made and second on the voucher.
I know, it was a good one, or she wouldn't have told me.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Old business and building projects, including but not limited to. All kinds.
Brian and Charlie, you guys are up.
Drum roll.
Yeah, there we go.
We wait till they get deep in conversation.
You can sign them after if you want. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Trying to think, I guess I'll just start in with Neon Fleming. Brian and I were comparing notes here a little bit, just ahead of but we've gotten most of the feedback we needed from the engineers on what was holding things up a little bit. So he's hoping to get back in this week to get rolling, and then the next 2 weeks, he'll be able to make pretty good progress on the exterior walls on the inside, basically. Head forward that way. So maybe I should let Brian explain where you're headed with timing.
Yeah, as we've all been hearing and waiting for these details to come back. So I printed these this morning and just a couple clarifications, but I think we can work that out this week with Brian Scott, with Home Engineers, and we'll move forward and get to a standstill. Then we'll pick up the phone and hopefully he'll be a little more receptive and a little more anxious to
Help out.
So I know he'll have to submit that, or I guess you'll have to submit this to HBC. So
Right.
we won't be able to cover anything up until
Right.
we
Get the permit.
their nod.
This drawing is what I needed to give to the building department so that they can have it in their records and send the inspector out and say, yeah, it looks like this drawing. Because what we've done at this point is kind of leapfrogged ahead a little bit. I mean, we're doing work that we know we need to do, but it's not matching the drawings exactly that are at the state. So the inspector's like, wow. And I mean, he's worked with us, and like Brian said, as long as we don't cover anything up, he's okay. But they do want the drawing. So I have a drawing now that I can turn in and get that approval. And then we'll continue to work with Pogue to get the structural pieces. Right now, we've got what we need to do more of the exterior portions for prepping for the windows that are coming. We have a little bit more around the entries that he's still designing. So, but we have a little bit of lead time now here with him.
Is the foyer gonna have to lose those windows?
No, we're able to keep the windows, and instead of the diagonal right in front of the windows, we'll be able to come back. Am I saying this right? I think on those.
Well, we've not seen the diagonal bracing details,
Yeah.
so it depends on
So,
how sharp.
Yeah. So
that slope.
that's
what
it is.
Like an internal flying buttress?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good description of it.
Okay.
Okay.
On the other end, at the back entrance, where the restrooms are, we'll also have something there. We're probably gonna have to change the closet, the janitor's closet. Currently opens out into the hallway, and it's gonna have to open into the restroom instead.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's been fine for months.
Yeah, so that's the only, and then, yeah, I guess back on the front entry, I'm still working with Brian Scott to see what we can do with those windows. But we may have a different shape window, we may have a slightly smaller window, or I'm trying to see what he can come up with there.
Okay.
So that's the update at Neon. I'm trying to think of anything else, Brian, that you can pick up there.
I saw you guys had the sump pump in.
Yeah. I can't think of anything.
Okay.
So in terms of the appearance of the door, you were thinking you'd have to break it up above, is that what we're talking about? I guess I just Googled flying buttress and that doesn't help me.
It's like a,
This is what it showed.
yeah, that's what it, but it would be inside a
Inside.
wall, inside the building.
In the foyer as
So
you
you're
come
all
in,
set.
currently you,
Additional
as
support.
you walk in the door, you've got windows on either side, and then you enter into the library. And those windows are what we're trying to see. We need to get some kind of a diagonal brace in those
Okay.
walls.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at there.
And we still need to, I guess, fine tune the details of severing that existing canopy to allow for the head height of the cooling door for the flood door.
Right.
That cooling cabinet or canister.
Cartridge.
Housing,
Yeah.
you're right.
I keep calling it a cartridge.
Well, it's an odd piece, but yeah, we need to create a slot for the door to actually pass through there, so. And that'll let that piece also move forward. I don't know, do you know more on the door itself? Have you?
No, we just shared the calculations.
Yeah.
With Brian Scott to see how that impacts his diagonal bracing. And,
That's gives him the loads he needed. So the door manufacturer has provided us with what they need in terms of reinforcing around the edge of it. And that will tell us what we need to prepare for with the bracing on the back there. So
they had 2 bollards there, but this is my opinion. I don't think they'll look that bad, but they're pretty adamant on those 2 bollards at the front door. So
for the width of the opening, they couldn't do it without additional bracing. Idea very much, and so we came up with the bollards. When the door is open, it really just looks like it's protecting the entry. It's not, you know, we can make them attractive, paint them, or put a cover on them or something.
The church next door has those big bright yellow
Yeah,
posts, so yeah, so I think we're gonna be okay.
we'll
you
do
can
better.
brick red,
Right.
something.
We can do
There's ways
something.
to camouflage.
Yeah, and I really don't think they'll be that noticeable. And that let them then do the full width as a canopy, roll up canopy there. So, so that's,
Do you guys?
We're getting new sidewalks and neon.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know how long those will be there. That was because people kept crashing into their building.
right.
I thought they had a big curb
That's
like
why they
we
put
did.
it. Wow.
I thought the curb was big right there. Am I remembering it wrong?
The
No,
curb,
curb, the height of the sidewalk?
Sidewalk.
that's why they put
Yeah,
those in
picture.
there.
Yeah. I'm working on a branch bank for community trust, actually, various locations, and they have described many stories of people accidentally driving into an entry or hitting the building. So it's not unusual. I mean, we have them at the bank at various places, and these will be, you know, just normal looking steel bollards, but they can, like Brian has said, we can paint them or do something to make them interesting.
Do you want them to be purple?
Whatever color you want, we'll work with you on that. So.
See, the Main Street will be,
Honestly.
I think it's gonna be wider. Might be wider, I don't know. Yeah, they're gonna redo Main Street,
Oh,
the sidewalks on
Uh-huh.
Main Street. So
Oh.
I don't know if it's gonna be wider or smaller.
Okay.
I think it's maybe wider.
Would anything like, would that interfere with anything?
well, I'm curious. It shouldn't affect us, no.
I know that the money has to be expended by 1st of July.
So soon,
June 30th.
okay, okay. Maybe I'll try to find out.
Yeah, I don't think it'll affect the library.
Yeah, it shouldn't affect us.
Couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
All Main Street.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not the whole.
yeah. No, that should be okay.
You guys got questions for them about Fleming Neon?
Sounds great. I just
We're-
get in.
We're really happy.
Black, right?
Yes.
Yeah, next.
It's the lead in there. So we're getting really close. I know Grace is listening. Our end is basically done. I mean, it's really all of us, and I don't mean to pick on Brian Scott at Pove. He's our consultant. We hired him, so I mean, I can't say otherwise, but he has been really swamped with a lot of work and was difficult to get some of the answers that we needed. He's also involved with the Blackie piece. I need the final design on the wall so that it has the proper reinforcing inside it and the details there right. So he's, as we speak, working on that. I'm hoping really in the next 2 weeks that I should have that. And at that point, I feel like I'm ready to go to bid if we can all agree that we're ready for that. I mean, I know you are, so.
That would be a nice thing to
So
to
I
have
guess
happen.
I'm hoping by this time next month that we can be out bidding on that work.
But along that line, everyone who has seen, Alita, sent me the pictures, and everyone I've shown to folks, and everyone
Oh, good.
is real pleased with that wall.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
You know, right now, I think that we just put a chicken.
No, this,
Yeah.
I think it is attractive and I think it will help you
It
use
does
that,
look nice,
that front area maybe a little more.
Several of them had a question, they said, well, the ramp, then with the ramp, what would happen, would it still be a wooden ramp or would it be a concrete?
Gosh, this is embarrassing. I forget now how we left it. I think it's, well, it would be wood, yeah. Yeah. I'll have to look at my drawings. I apologize, Grace. I've looked at so many
Well, I
different
don't
things.
understand that, but
I'll have to double check on that for you. Gosh, I should know that by heart. At one point, we were taking it out and we were gonna replace it with concrete. But with the plan that we're showing now, really, it can stay, I believe.
Well, we will have to have new, I mean, have to be new.
The surface, yeah,
Yeah. because
Yeah.
that ramp is-
Falling
You
apart.
sort of jacked it up, didn't you, right?
Yeah, probably you need some new ramp.
okay.
And
And maybe I have it in there. I
I
apologize.
don't know why, after all this time, right after the flood, like there were some boards that, you know.
Came
were up.
loose, yeah.
And,
They're
well, they were
bulk.
like, I guess from the water. that
I
they were-
see.
They had swollen or something, but there's been a few more that's starting to come up, you know, like, I don't know.
So it
It's
needs
just
replaced.
Maybe
So
maybe it's just from constant
we'll-
rain.
we'll replace it as part of this then. I'll make sure that that's in those drawings then.
Sounds good.
I am gonna ask for my little community. So like, when do you think this guy will be through with the drawings for that door? That engineer?
Well,
For
that's,
It's been a little
neon.
while.
For
Yeah,
neon.
right now I'm saying in the next 2 weeks, you know, so, I mean,
Okay, I
it's,
thought it was just
once,
black.
and this kind of gives me leverage, once Brian gets back in and is moving, I can hammer him and say, listen, you know, we don't want to hold this up, he's
Yeah.
working. And so I think.
So
we can
both
get
of
that.
them, large movement within 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's been a backlog with the engineer a little bit. Again, that's not like it's some person that I don't know, it's somebody that I've hired, but they've really been backlogged here the last several months, but they're working through that, and this has come up high enough on the list now that I can get attention from, so.
HMC windows?
Oh, that's me.
Mhm.
I haven't gotten any responses from the window places that I've called. So Brian's gonna write a spec for me and I'm going to put it in the newspaper for 2 weeks. And when nobody responds, we can hire Brian's guy. So that's.
So even home
that's-
lumber has.
I called, Elliot came and looked, and I haven't heard anything from them. I called Lumber, Harlan Glass, and there was another one. I made sure that I called at least 3 companies. And I can't remember who the third one was, but it was another big name that I recognized. So I was a little surprised that none of them came out. But we do need to get it done, so I'm not gonna wait or remind them anymore. We're putting it in the paper and then we'll just be done.
Anything else on either place, or are we finished with it?
I think you guys are, yeah, I think we're done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Policy manual?
You all, I'm sure you all, that was the evening reading.
didn't see anything.
We looked at it a
Yeah,
lot.
we looked at it.
And I, thank you, yeah.
Thank you. We did look at it a lot.
Yeah.
And
And everyone has the updated version.
yeah.
That's sent out.
You
I
didn't
think it
see
looks
anything,
great.
did you?
Shall we?
The only way we'll find anything else is if we just happen upon it, I think.
Right, that's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
when we're looking for
Yeah.
something, and it's a
Cause I think
living
we've covered
document.
everything we could possibly,
Yeah.
Can always make a change.
Mhm.
yeah.
And we'll be reviewing it again when did we say we were gonna?
Every or did we say every year? I
I
think we
think
said
we're gonna
every
do,
year.
yeah, we'll do at least part of it every year.
I don't remember, those would be minutes. Go back and pull it up, so,
Okay,
So annually at least.
yes.
yeah. Okay, so someone other than me should, make the motion to adopt it, or do we need to even do that?
We do,
do,
somebody needs to
okay.
make a motion and there needs to be a vote.
I'll make a motion to adopt, I'll make the motion. It's second. I second it. All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Ayes have it. So we'll go on to bonding the library treasurer. Treasurer update.
Last I heard Cheryl was gonna
I
send
sent
it.
it in.
Okay, I haven't heard anything from Melissa yet, so maybe I will send her an email.
Yeah. Is that all we need to do?
Yes, and then new business. The flood insurance, I put quotes for the branches that do not currently have flood insurance in your packet. Basically, Fleming Neon has flood insurance, and thank goodness for that. So it's like right after the agenda. There's 3 of them. Blackie. And they gave us like how much coverage we want, what the premium would be. And according to what the deductible would be. I don't know why they don't have contents coverage, because we would need to do the contents also. But basically, if we wanted to do $500,000 of flood insurance with a deductible of $10,000, it would cost $10,000, $431 per year for Blackie. If we
what's the
wanted,
11,000?
that is for a higher deductible.
Okay.
That would be a deductible of $1,250.
Oh, I see that. All right. So $10,000 deductible, be $10,431
Yeah,
for $500,000 worth of coverage.
yes.
Where do you see that? Is that on this form?
It's,
In the middle.
yeah.
It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, I see, okay. Oh,
And there's 3, yeah,
And that's the black, the first one's the Blackie one.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was just looking for so you're saying that 10,431 premium?
Is the one she wants to go with.
Well, actually, that was just an example.
Right,
We
okay.
could choose any of those. And I would want them to do some contents coverage too, because we're not always gonna get a grant for new
Yeah.
computers
Yeah.
and have
And we're
lots
lots
of,
water these days.
yeah, and we won't always get lots of books
Yeah.
donated.
So all 3 of these are just for the structure?
Yes.
So how soon do you need this insurance?
It doesn't have to be right now, but
I mean, you can go ahead, like, we can table it till next
yes.
meeting and you can have the contents.
Yes, I can contact, it's Allison through
Oh,
Holland Clark.
yeah.
And I can ask her to add content, like maybe 100,000 for contents.
Why is Jenkins so much more? Is it because of this water behind us? Looks like Blackie has the river behind it.
Yes.
So,
claim?
I don't know why, because Jenkins didn't flood when the other two did.
I know.
That's all.
But they are,
Property value.
they're
It
like
may be
300.
It may be
Property
property
value.
value.
Probably is,
It's an incorporated city. also.
Right.
yeah. And Blackie isn't,
And Whitesburg,
and it has, but it has a fire station right here. I mean, it just don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so, and you just thought of one insurance company, because that's the one that you're using, right? So it doesn't make, that's the one you have in Whitesburg as well.
yes,
Yeah, okay,
that's they do our property insurance.
sure.
It's
okay.
Holland Clark. They also do our
Right.
health insurance. Like they're like a go-between. They get us connected to, and I think anywhere we go, since flood insurance is done through FEMA, I think anywhere we go, the flood insurance is gonna be the same.
Oh, sure.
And then
I
Harry
didn't
and
know
Cottle
flood-
Library is
flood
even
insurance
more.
was
Yeah.
through FEMA.
I'm sorry?
I didn't realize flood insurance was through FEMA.
Yeah,
I did not.
yeah.
That's,
It's the only way you can get it.
but we have to go through an insurance company
Right.
to get the flood insurance. You can't just contact, Safe Hold. and
They
tell
actually
them.
gave us 3 years worth of insurance when we got flooded. It runs out in September.
This September, right?
So,
So, and you don't know what your options will be then?
well, I can get it, just don't know what I'm gonna have to
Through
pay
the
for
nose,
it.
right,
I don't think it'll be this much.
I wouldn't count
Not
on
for
it, it's
you.
according to how much you wanna get, if you want to
Right.
cover your whole home.
Yeah.
Get expensive. Yeah.
Harry and Cottle too is
Yeah.
2,000 more than Blackie for the same coverage.
It's a bigger space.
It's a bigger space,
Yeah.
but the same amount.
Right, I see what you're saying, right. Yeah.
I think it's location on these. That's what runs that cost.
Being in the city, everything's more expensive.
Everything's more expensive right now
Totally
anyway.
shocked little Kentucky Power. Our church is located in the city of Jenkins.
It is? Is it just, or the post office, the postmaster delivers it, is what I was told.
You're
In the city of Jenkins.
Oh, you're talking about your church? I thought you made your own.
No. I called about an electric bill because we're only in church on Sunday because we don't have a minister. And our electric bill has been going like $600. Turned out to be $1,700.
You're on that bill.
And so I called and I said, there's something wrong, we've never paid, it's never gone over 700. Well, we just discovered that your church is in incorporated city. So therefore, you pay according to incorporation, which dumbfounded me because, and then went to the bank because we had money that we were going to put in a CD, and we had it in a CD. And the Qantas, one of them was in our church, he went with us because he was going to put Qantas money in. Can't get a CD if your place of business is in incorporated city. So we couldn't do a CD, even though we'd done it the year before. And I just could not
Are
understand.
you considered a business?
A church?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
No,
And neither should a Kiwanis
Yeah.
building,
No,
because they're a
Kiwanis
nonprofit.
building is located about 300 feet from the church. So, but that's the reason I said it's a corporation may cause other things, but I was dumbfounded.
When I see on this insurance, I went and checked with the local, I won't say who, insurance agency about getting insurance. And the most they would insure was like 250,000. The reason they told me that is the quote, they had just given a quote to a guy who wanted $250,000. And the quote was $10,000 a year for a personal home.
For a residence.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, going back to the church for just a minute, our church behind the courthouse, we also don't have a minister, and so, but our secretary's there, and anyway, they charge us a demand use fee. I may have brought this up before, our bill will be like $900, and then the demand use fee is $980. And we called and we've gotten different explanations from Kentucky Power every time, but one of them is, it's because you turn everything on at the same time. And so
So it's like emergency power?
that's what they said,
That's
but,
like leaving the charger plugged up, 'cause
Yeah.
that's what they tell you.
but we're,
That's black and blue.
right, exactly, that's all it is. Our secretary, who works Monday through Thursday, she says, well, I'm gonna start not turning the copier on when I come in. I said, that, it doesn't make any sense. So
Just leave the
we're,
copier on all the time.
but yeah, we're $1,700 a month, and we're not even,
Presbyterian.
yes, and we're just heating the upstairs or cooling, whatever, and we keep all the doors closed.
That's the
There's
way we
no-
are.
Yeah, so it's really frustrating. We had the presbyter from Louisville came to moderate our last meeting, and he was shocked. He said, I live in a very large old house in Louisville, and I have never paid more than $300 a month.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
He
My
says,
children
"Yeah,"
don't
he said,
pay
"You all are
anything."
idiots.
Yeah.
We're going by
Yeah.
Kentucky Power.
Our house bill got up to $600 this week.
Ours got up
Yeah.
to 7,
Mine-
2 months in a row.
Right, mine was
Mine
most,
was $1,000.
yeah. It's just, so we're looking at, I don't know if this would help anyone else, but the Presbytery does offer, I think it's subsidized loans to put in geothermal. So that's what we're looking at, because, but
That's what,
it's a huge upfront expense though, yeah,
putting me on Church of God did.
okay,
They did the solar.
yeah,
Oh,
solar, yeah, we would,
Yeah, I wonder how expensive that is.
yeah, I don't know that we would get,
Well, but
but,
a few electric bills you can pay for.
right, and, I didn't know that that's what the rec center in Plattsburgh has,
Is it?
is geothermal, and they say they've never paid over $100 a month.
Oh,
I've
wow.
actually talked to Seth Long about solar
I
at
have to.
our branches at the
Mhm.
libraries.
And what did he say?
It would be a good investment, and there's only one branch that does not have the right orientation for solar,
really?
and I think it's this one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, that would be, I think, if you have, that's something I think we ought to consider, because long-term, it's not gonna be better. And of course, Angie.
But I
Hatton
think that
is
comes,
also-
you have to put in a new roof with what I'm talking about.
If it's
It's.
less
You have to
than,
put- you have to put
unless it's
panels
less
on.
than 10 years
Oh,
old, we
right.
would have to do a new roof in Whitesburg.
Yeah,
Blackie would have to do a new roof.
Well, probably was.
Yeah, yeah.
and of course, we
And the roof
couldn't,
and
with a
everything.
slate roof, we paid a lot of money to have it be historic.
Well, I had them come to my house. And
Yes, for
it's
solar.
on my house.
Yeah,
And if I were a young person, I would do it, but I'm too old because,
you would benefit,
no, it was almost 30,000.
right,
So, and it only saved about $1,000 a year.
right. And now
According
that
to
they've
what,
changed,
according to what they told me.
what used to be, they were required to buy back if you generated any
Yeah.
energy, and then
Yeah, then they
they
did that, got rid of
they
that,
got rid of that, because
Yeah,
I know people
because we
who,
were gonna do that.
But if I were young and just starting out, I would go completely solar
right,
and
yeah.
green energy every
Right.
way.
But it's hard to recoup it if you're.
Yeah,
our
we
age.
would never.
And I know your age now, so we're in the same boat, yeah.
Do you guys want to wait on flood insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I was
just
thinking
have-
of the contents.
Right, with. the
Yeah, I'll-
contents,
So really, for $500,000, that's not a big rate according to what I was quoted for a home.
Mhm.
Call them, Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might
Yeah,
check it out.
It's Hall and Clark. They've got offices in Pikeville. I can give you.
I've got their phone number right here, so.
Mhm.
Let's move on then to budget committee forming and scheduling.
I know Ian wants to be on the budget committee. I am fine with, the last 10 years. I've just sat down and done a budget based on the previous couple of years. But and I know Cheryl said she was interested in a budget committee. So if we have one or two board members on the committee, we can set a time. And really, it doesn't have to be the same committee like all the time. People can come and go on that.
You
So-
might have other committees too,
Yeah.
you know, the people, you know.
So, the budget should really be presented at the May meeting. So we need to schedule or at least begin looking for dates to meet for the budget committee. Oh, I just got the financial information. Let me see if I can print them from my phone. But if you guys want to. Let me back up a little. Is Cheryl the only board member that would be interested in being on the budget committee? I know I probably need to ask the new board member when they're.
I'd be glad to serve on that,
Okay.
as long as it doesn't meet all the time, and if I can make sense. Yeah, I'll take a stab at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't know yet before.
Right. I mean, I can ask them when I do their orientation. Do Wednesdays work for you guys?
Wednesday, what were you
Yeah,
doing?
Wednesday, as long as it's, yeah, I have a meeting, one Wednesday a month in the evening, but not during the day, so,
We'll just
yeah.
do it like,
Mhm.
you didn't want to be on that, did you?
I wasn't interested.
Okay.
no.
I think Ian's free most Wednesdays also.
Yeah.
So
How many members do you need?
I think the four of us would work well.
Yeah, you don't need too many voices.
No.
Yeah,
I was thinking you need an uneven number, just.
Well, it's
To break a
for a
vote.
committee, I don't think we need to vote on that stuff. I mean, not in the committee meeting. You guys would have to vote on it.
You just recommend.
Yeah.
So you have your four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. The May meeting is gonna be on the 19th. Today's the 21st. What do you think of the 30th? It's
Yeah, April 30th?
that's not this Wednesday, it's next Wednesday.
Yeah, that'll work for me.
yeah, that should work for me too.
Any particular time?
What time?
Anytime?
She's saying any particular time, 1 o'clock?
Okay.
In Whitesburg?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, girls. I'm gonna be in and out of town so much for the next 2 months, so
Mhm.
I'll have to.
Is your sister okay?
Yeah, my daughter's moving,
Oh.
so I'm in
yeah,
demand
that's
right now.
Moving is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got you guys in my schedule for next Wednesday, the 30th at 1 p.m.
Okay, good.
Massachusetts.
What now? Have you been going to Massachusetts
I'll
too?
be going sometime soon.
Okay.
My last four grandsons graduated high school.
Oh, what part of Massachusetts?
Randy.
Oh, yeah, near
Being
Harvard.
accepted at the Maine School of Medicine.
Wow.
Nice. Congratulations to him. That's a lot of hard work.
And he's a
Yeah.
senior in high school, has never made but one B, all A's, one B. And he has 18 college credit hours and he's taking.
That's great.
That was my young one, but my older one, he's gone. That's how it goes. And he's made B's and C's and he's happy as large.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's-
In the long run. Since it moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
If
brothers,
they're
but
just,
they're
if
totally
they're just
different.
real stick with it and do
I love both of
something,
them.
it doesn't matter. Because grades don't always measure
Yeah.
exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Right, my
Yeah.
parents said, I don't care what your grade you got, I wanna know what you learned. You know, cause sometimes you can focus too much on,
Yeah.
just
too
getting,
much
but anyway, but it is good.
But it's good to see all the grades.
He had to write a thesis like last month, it was due, and he had come during the flood and worked at Neon.
Oh.
For, so he wrote that thesis on the people he met in Neon, and
I'd love to read that.
I would too.
he got an A+ on it. So, but he's an unusual young man. He loves sports. He plays soccer and lacrosse, and he still makes good grades. So,
Good for him.
he took that, let's take that after his grandfather. I may be bright, but I didn't.
Yeah.
They were the most important. But to him, they work, so, and I'm real happy, so I'll be coming and going, I don't know, I want to go to his graduation, then I want to go to college 2 weeks later, so I don't know where I'm gonna be when, or I would join y'all.
Just went to Harvard. All I got was a t-shirt, but I was happy. So you get to go.
Yeah, I'll look, and then he may change his mind once he gets. One thing that I thought was interesting, this School of Medicine has a PA program, and they advised him to take the PA program and
To start?
and, stop and do PA for a year, just to see if it's really what he wants to
I
do.
like that.
That's smart.
And then come back
Good
and
advice.
do that.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
They do that with people in library school too. They tell you, well, not entirely that, but they tell you to get a job working in a library while you're in library school so
Sure,
you can
I think
experience it.
That's a good idea.
that's what he's going to do, I think.
I think job shadowing is so important.
It is.
There's a lot of moving parts in a job and you don't know
Right,
if you're gonna fit into
exactly. And
where you need to
there's
be.
always gonna be boring parts to a job,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I hope the college is doing more with that.
And parts you just don't agree with.
Yeah,
Caitlin, said that.
We probably
she
need to
wanted-
adjourn this meeting and then we talk.
And
She
talk,
wanted
yeah.
to be
Yeah.
a teacher, and now she's after working in the library, she's changed her mind. She's
Oh,
found what she
really?
wants to do.
What-
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, work in the library.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Any announcements?
I just need to get the Flex account ACH signed by Cheryl, and that's all I've got.
Anybody else? Board meeting, May 19th, Harry Collins,
Yes.
motion to adjourn,
I so move.
I'll second.
motion made and second. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending the meeting.
Thank you.
Congratulations to your
this.
grandson.
I will tell him that's one. He called